crafting a project like that at that time when it was just nothing but me and my friends, and seeing the numbers that it did was like a moment for me where I was like, okay, this is what I can do. I don't need like a big cosign. I don't need shit like this. If I really just hone in on my team, create my team, we really work, mash something out, the people are gonna love it. My name is EZ CODY LEE, and while you're sleeping, I'm making history.
What's the first memory you have with music?
Uh, One of my first memories with music is just watching my dad freestyle. When I was younger, I was just like around the house, just seeing my dad. Like I rather it's like some beats that his boys was working on, or he was working on, or like just even the end of a song where like it just be the little instrumental for like 30 seconds or whatever. Like just hearing my dad like freestyle on top of that, it was just always so cool to me, like the way he could come up with words on the fly, and I could barely even comprehend what words were at the time, but it was just like it was just so cool to me, so I started picking it up early.
And how old were you again?
uh this is young. I was probably like, it's probably like a 4 years old, 5 years old type of memory, not gonna lie.
Did that play a big piece in you making music?
Yeah, very very much so. uh Definitely, I think I like got inspiration from my dad, just seeing him do it, like him creating like an outlet, pretty much like him showing me that like you can make music, you don't have to go in the streets and do this or do that or do this or do that. Like from home you can express your feelings and like get on a song and talk about your own personal experiences, because that's what he did. He talked about his life. That was his outlet to really speak to the world. So it's kind of what I picked up and just started doing for myself. But also, like, seeing my mom like just like make her like whole life based off of what she loved. My mom does hair, and it's like she's never really had to work a job. Her job has always been what she like doing hair, and she made like a whole living out of it, supporting kids and all types of like shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's like definitely I take a lot of inspiration from my parents for like what I do and how I like go about it.
A blessing to have two like creative parents,
Uh
you
huh.
know? So like I imagine you got a good support system when you decided you wanted to make music.
Yeah, heavy. But my dad has also like, he's been in the game for real. Like deals on the table. So he told me like all about the industry, the ins and the outs, because he didn't, obviously he doesn't want to see his son fail, but he wanted me to like really understand, like if I'm going to do this, like no royalties, no masters, no management, no all this different stuff. So like when I'm really in it, like I'm not getting screwed over like the next guy. You know what I mean? So I got like a really deep understanding of not only music like in a creative sense, but like in a business sense, like from an early age because of my dad.
What was some of the things he sat you down and talked to you about first with the music industry and making music as like a career?
Family, work with people that you trust, and I kind of like has been the main thing that I kind of built off of. But he let me know like whoever you're signing papers with or signing papers for or whatever, like make sure you can really trust that person. Like who's like who you're talking to, who you're working with in the room, just stuff like that. And it's like if I always got a team, I'll never need nobody else. You know what I mean? Like if I know the DJ, know the producer, know the manager, know the videographer, know, if I have a close relationship with all those people, like our work is always going to be our work, like a collaborative effort is almost like as one, we're almost like an entity of itself. So like that's one thing that he taught me, just like building a team, like building trust, building real love, like in it, like having genuine connection.
Right, which is major. How old were you when you really started making music yourself?
So I've been interested like in music my whole life, and always like, freestyle, wrote shit down, done like all types of stuff. But I really started like eighth grade freshman year when my friend Omar kind of really pushed me to take it seriously. We used to make like diss tracks on niggas like in middle school and stuff. And then like after that, like he was like, bro, like the stuff that you're saying, like I know that we're young and like it's kind of stupid and stuff, but I really feel like you could like take this somewhere. Like if you take it seriously, like you could do something. And then, yeah. That's my best friend. Shout out Omar. But he's like kind of the reason why I started like really going with it. But to answer your question, like eighth grade, freshman year is when I would say like eighth grade is when I started really making the music. But freshman year is when I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
Right. And just for the record, how old are you right now?
I'm 19, like kind of recently 19. So yeah, I just been out of school for like a year,
Cool. Yeah, so we're talking maybe like 5 years you've been
five
taking it
years,
serious?
5 years. But it took an understanding. Like I always been someone in like into the underground and stuff like that. Like even back when it was like not the lucky ex Cardi that we know now. You know what I mean? Like really early into the scene type of stuff. But that's not what I was focused on. Like I was making like Polo G, Lil TJ type. You know, like mainstream esque ass music that I thought like was gonna really take me off instead of doing like what I listened to, what I was loving. So I like started making that crossover like really in 2021 when the whole underground scene started bubbling up again. I was like, you know what? This feels like home. This feels like something I can be a part of. Like all these kids like turning up and stuff. Like I feel like I belong to this group, not the like billboard that I was chasing from trying to like do a sound that everybody else was doing. You know what I mean? Like really being myself and trying to grow a base off of that.
Right. So was there anything that happened that kind of made you flip that switch from going from little TJ to Lucky? You know?
Honestly, because I've been listening to it all. I still listen to it all, to be honest. But if I'm being so honest, it was like the whole brink, like the snap of when Yeet started blowing up, Summers, Autumn, uh, Tana, like that whole scene when they started like it started getting attention. The shit that I was loving became like more modern, more casual. I was like, okay, there's a market for this. You know what I mean? Like that's when I started like realizing like I can just be myself, make the music that I like, make the music that I listen to, and people are gonna listen to it. I don't have to do like cookie cutter stuff. So that switch was really like the whole 2021 underground movement. So like, be honest,
Right. Yeah, that underground just blew up out of nowhere,
yeah.
you know. So was was that what you're listening to when you first really kind of started getting into music, like Lucky and like Lil TJ, or what's some of your first influences?
Uh, Not Lil TJ, but my early influences were like it was weird. Like I would take stuff from Mariana Grande, but then also Playboy Cardi, but also Michael Jackson. Like I just like I'm a fan of like music in general, so it's like a lot of different elements came together and influenced me to who I am, and I think that's why I'm like so different. If I say myself, you know what I mean? It's kind of a thing of like I'm the type of guy to get on a rage beat, but saying like Michael Jackson the whole time. You know what I mean? Or get on like some gospel sounding ass shit, but I'm doing like crazy yelling ad libs or some like heavy metal inspired stuff. Like my influences and just motivators are like all over the place. Like they're scattered around like almost every genre type of thing. So yeah, it'll kind of be hard to pin, but like honestly, I would say like earlier on, like a lot of X, to be honest. Just X being honest. Lucky being honest too. Lucky inspired me a lot, but just seeing Lucky and X like get on a song and just talk about themselves, even if it was like in a perspective of them being a hero or them being a villain, them just being honest with themselves, talking on a song, like knowing what they did in this relationship, like knowing what they did with this beef with this guy, like just talking, just being real honest, like speaking to the mic. That inspired me a lot to just be that way too.
Right, because they're very honest, but they're also very vulnerable. They're
Exactly.
not trying to make themselves look bigger
It's
than
not just the good truth,
right.
like
It's
yeah.
and that's like really important to be able to build a connection too, because like I'm a real big Lucky fan personally, and some of the songs that I connect to the most or stuck out the most or made me become such a big like into his music as much were when he was being vulnerable
Yeah.
and it like really struck a chord.
Yeah. I mean on Judge like my auntie. Like just like him just saying real honest shit like that sometimes you'll be like, all right, you can't say that. I got a song where I was like, I get too honest so it get awkward in the booth. Like it's like, like some shit that you feel like if there's other niggas in the studio, you low-key shouldn't even say. Like just being unapologetically you. Like that's something that Lucky and X like inspired me to do a lot. So yeah, that's like probably if I can pinpoint any influences, they influenced that early heavy too, and especially Kanye on the vulnerability aspect. But it's the honesty, bro. Like you know who Kanye is, you know how he feel, you know what he going like, like he gonna tell you the truth, bro. You don't gotta like him, you don't gotta hate him, you don't gotta love him. You just gotta know who he is because he's gonna show you. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out Kanye.
When you were coming up and you're putting out your first songs, like what was going through your mind? Like, how are you feeling?
Honestly, sadly, I didn't have to go through that barrier like most people, where it's like, oh, I wonder how everybody's gonna think. You know what I mean? Because I've like always been thrown in front of the stage my whole life. Like I grew up in a church, so pretty much, and my dad was a pastor at one of them. You know what I mean? So it's like, uh, I kind of always have been like in front of the spotlight. I never really had the chance to like not like have to be presented. So like when it came to releasing music, it was nothing to me. Like it was just more of, if anything, it was more like having to understand what criticism, feedback, and like hate was, like differentiating and all that. Like if a nigga tell me a song is shit, like are they really saying shit? Like do they really feel that way? Are they saying that to like do something to me, like brew something up? Like just really understanding that. Or if a nigga saying that something good, like is it really good, or are they just trying to click up with me? Is it like just understanding like really how to assess feedback when it comes to the actual music? So like yeah, just I don't know. It was pretty fun though. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty fun knowing that I could put music out and there's really nobody there to judge it. Like I could put out a song and probably me and Omar the only niggas listening to it, so I don't gotta worry about the mixing on this or uh, the beat on this one or just shit like that. So it was fun. Not to say it's not fun now. It's just the pressure is different and it's like the reason is different. I gotta make money off of what I'm doing, and like I got a fan base I can't disappoint and shit like that. So I am in a different ball game now, but it's all different. It's all fun.
So for the artists coming up that are getting ready to drop their first song, what's some advice you can give them?
Do it. Just do it. A lot of people think about doing shit a lot more than they do it, and that kind of is like what holds them back the most. You know what I mean? Like if if you got this song that you think could blow up in 2 years, but you spend 2 years trying to plan how to do it, then you just blew up the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of a thing of like just understand that nobody's really paying attention right now. So you have the creative freedom to just do what you want. Like be free. Like you can put out this song, you can put out this artwork, you can do whatever right now because you don't have the pressure of any response. Nobody's gonna say you went triple cheeseburger or make fun of you for not getting sales, or nobody's gonna make fun of you for, you know what I mean, the mixing or whatever, bro. Nobody's gonna care because you haven't done anything yet. So you have to just like set those seeds, plant those seeds because they're only gonna grow. It's only gonna get bigger and better. Like you just gotta do it. Just gotta do it.
Right, you got to take the first steps.
Exactly.
That first big moment became like a reality. Like, oh, this is like really working.
Uh, when Untalented came out, so before Untalented, I had Double Cup, which went crazy, and Hello Kitty, which went crazy on TikTok. But those songs didn't really like. Those were songs that I made for fun and kind of just put out, and they did numbers just because people thought they were catchy. Untalented 3 was a project where I really like worked with all my friends. It was Mikey's first song on there, uh, me and Nim first collaboration. Um, I got Trey on there, KG, like uh, even down to like the producers like Milwaukee and shit like that. Just like crafting a project like that at that time when it was just nothing but me and my friends, and seeing the numbers that it did was like a moment for me where I was like, okay, this is what I can do. I don't need like a big cosign. I don't need shit like this. If I really just hone in on my team, create my team, we really work, mash something out, the people are gonna love it, bro. We're good enough for people to listen. So that was my moment, just seeing the numbers on Untalented 3 and how that like played out in that whole moment in time and everything.
Now you're talking about a team. How important is the team, and what type of people were important to be a part of the team for you?
Money not buying, bro. MNB. Uh, Man, it's all about love. It's all about love and talent, in my opinion. That was just really what it was. So we call money not buying, just pretty much saying that the money's not buying the art. You know, the money's not. There's no price that's gonna pay for the artist that we are. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much like a thing where it's just like all about love, unity. Like we all on the same accord. We all gonna hold a hand out for anybody who down. We all know that there's people above us, people under us, but we all human at the end of the day, and all of that is just perception. So it's really love, love for the next guy, all unity, all moving in one, and then talent. We all good, you know what I mean? Like it's not just a thing of like, oh, this my best friend, so I'm gonna get him on a song, bro. This nigga just as good as me, if not better. You know what I mean? Like it's all talent. We all hone in on what we do and give feedback, real criticism. Like you'll tell a nigga if this is good and this is bad. Real like really working on each other to like go up those steps and really, get better. Just all get better as at our crafts, not just as musicians, not just as videographers or whatever. All as like artists. It's all real coincidental. I'm not gonna lie. Like one of the people on the team, Dylan, people may not even know, but we went to school together. Like I was a freshman when he was a senior type of thing, and it's like uh, we didn't even. I wasn't even really fully invested in the music, and he was like on a completely different, wavelength than what I was. But over the years, we came back together, met back up on the internet and everything, and like he's one of us, now, and just like KG, meeting him through quarantine and Mikey and like everybody. It's really like I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, we all internet kids, but we got such a love for it that we became real family. Like real life. Whenever I'm in your city, we together the whole time. Whenever you in my city, we together the whole time. Like, just it became a real unison. But it was just all genuine connection. It just happened over time. It wasn't really like necessarily a search. You know what I mean? Like I knew I wanted the team, but I knew I wasn't gonna find it if I went out to go look for it. I knew it would find itself. So
It's not some meant to be type shit.
exactly.
Yeah, cool. And I'm glad you said you're internet kids, because like the internet's played such a pivotal point in music.
Yes.
Even just like the last 5 years, the last 3 years,
Yeah.
like even this year, there's new stuff going on with the internet. Like, what's some tips you can give somebody on like how to use the internet to like push their music?
Uh, be yourself. Pretty much. I mean, you can have this character that you play into. There's definitely like, I will say that the Easy Cody Lee that everybody knows is not exactly like my day-to-day basis, but that's the part of it. We all artists, have fun with it. But at the same time, be yourself. Don't try to come off to people as a person that you're not, if that's just like how you're trying to come off. Uh, don't try to don't try to do a trend not because you like the trend, but because other people like it, so you think it get clicks. Don't don't do certain stuff to please a crowd or anybody that's not you. Just be yourself. There's no problem with being yourself, and that's something that I learned. I got homies that got rich on the internet off of being themselves. You know what I mean? So it's definitely possible. All you got to do is just have that self love. Know who you are. Find who you are first before you try to show people who you are. Like before you try to really convince people like to really get behind whatever you're trying to betray. Love that person. You know what I mean? It's all it's all about us at the artist at the end of the day. So, have some self worth, do some self care. This isn't like I'm not trying to be cliche. Like I really care. Like I really want everybody to feel good about being themselves and being able to project that in the world.
Right, because there's definitely not enough of that shit going on right
Yeah,
now. Everybody's just like IG filters
yeah.
and TikTok trends,
And
and it's
PC, like I I went through some trouble myself, bro. Just like really just being myself. You know what I mean? Like I just said some stuff where
yeah.
some people might not want to
We'll skip this
necessarily
part,
hear.
bro.
Nah, I want to talk about it, bro. I just said some stuff that people might not necessarily want to hear, but I want to say. You know what I mean? Like just kind of be yourself and unapologetically be you, but don't harm nobody in the while you're doing it. That's just all I learned. Like, you know, a word might not mean nothing to you, but it might have a lot of history to somebody else. So, you know, be you, but have some understanding of what being you means, and also be human. You know, don't just care about yourself. Like, care about everybody. Care about us all.
Yeah, so like this sounds like once you really started to get this squad together, your career started to jump up. You guys, what you got up your sleeve? You got anything coming up?
Uh, whole lot. Stuff with Mikey. A lot of stuff with Kai. Stuff with Edgar on the way. A lot of stuff with Cali. Anybody in M&B for real. Like just we work together. It's just a big team. We make stuff, but I got a lot with a lot of dope artists. I got stuff with Samad coming up. Stuff with Arsaya and just a lot, bro. So I just been working, but not trying to overwork myself. You know, this is my art, this is my passion, this is my fun. So, you know, making what I want to make. You know, I just really been in like a real philosopher, painter mode. You know, just get in my room and let me do whatever to the canvas. You know, and just have fun and really speak my mind out.
Right. Yeah, and you just dropped the song too.
Yeah,
The
just drops the
Dan-
Slam remix. 100 Ways about to come right after that, and then Kids right after that, and then whatever right after that, and then a whole bunch of other stuff in the mix. I'm back. I was spending a long time trying to think about how I go about this music shit, but then I realized I might as well just be me. You know, if I'm telling everybody else to be themselves, let me be myself. I'm a lot more spontaneous and impulsive than I'm coming off. You know, I'm gonna just start dropping music every week, no matter what that means. You know what I mean? Like just start giving the people the content because that's what I really want to do. I don't I don't really care about like how everybody is now, you know, uh like a billion song project and then, you know, a music video every other month and I don't I'm gonna just push it out when I want to push it out and when I think everybody's ready to hear it. So that's what we on.
that song's getting some love. How does that part of the process affect you? You know, obviously you probably feel good with it, but like, does it kind of make you want more?
Of course, really my goal as an artist is just to speak to everybody and make them make sure they don't feel alone. So when I get in a song and I be myself and I hear that people are loving it, you know, that means that people love me. You know what I mean? Sometimes I need to hear that. I just need to hear that somebody fuck with me, cause I know how it feels to like think the complete opposite. You know what I mean? So uh, yeah, hella inspiring. Just that's just my goal though, to just talk to everybody, make sure they like make sure I give off emotion to people. Make sure, like, if you're feeling sad, feeling happy, feeling whatever, like, just know you're not alone. You know what I mean? Other people got emotions too, and we all human. So don't ever think you're isolated.
Even after COVID, you know, we were all like trapped and shit, and
Yeah,
now we're out here, and but there's like still effects that scientists are studying. They don't even know how like it really affect everybody's psyches yet.
yeah.
So it's definitely like an important thing.
That's why I'm excited for tour, because I'm real show heavy. Because what shows do for me is not only the performance aspect, but the fact that I got a bunch of people in the room that just want to hear music and vibe out. You know what I mean? Like, just being able to the guy to the right of you and the guy to the left of you, they jump in with you. You know, they're not judging you, they're not bullying you, they're not making fun of you, they not nobody coming for none of that. We all coming to just have fun, good vibes. So that's why like I love doing shows. Is just like the congregation of everything. You know what I mean? We just all having fun. We all together, and especially like after quarantine, like seeing how it feels to just be in your room by yourself and not really being able to enjoy stuff with other human beings. It's like I want to make sure I can give that to as many people. You know, like as many people that fuck with me, fandoms, whatever. Just bringing all y'all to one room, and let's all just have fun. You know what I mean?
When's this tour starting, and who's on the tour?
July 8th, Remy Zerskis and 19, my boys Kali and Remy. Brought them because I just wanted to bring my team, you know? I just wanted to do it with my niggas. I didn't really care about seeing who would be the best selling artist or blah, blah, blah. I told Hogan straight up, I wanted to bring Kali, I wanted to bring Remy, and I was gonna be my special guest. But July 8th, we start all the way from New York back to LA. So,
Fire. And
lit.
for the record, for everybody else out there, Hogan's your manager, right?
Yes, sir. Hogan is the big H, the Hulk. That's my manager right there. I love bro. That's my brother before manager, if anything. But yes, sir.
There's so much like skepticism with people and the couple bad apples of managers like fucking people over and shit. Like, I want to talk about just like how important having management and having the help is. Like,
Oh yeah, he's man. It's a thing of like, but you just gotta admit that there's some shit that you just can't do, or there's some shit that someone will be able to do better than you. That's just the truth. And I think where people fuck up is that they try to put everything into the other person's hands. You know what I mean? Like, as much as Hogan is managing me, I'm managing me too. As much as like I'm his artist, he's my artist. He's giving me creative ideas and shit like that. Where it's a connection. We bouncing off of each other. So I think where it really comes from is that people think too quick. They want to get the person that's going to get them, you know, on Rolling Loud or this big thing or this big thing, and they're not necessarily thinking like the steps. You know what I mean? They're just thinking end goals. So yeah, I think the importance of management is really heavy, but also the importance of understanding of management is really heavy. You got to know how to manage yourself before you try to hand it off to another person. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of people fuck up. You don't got to know it as well as the next guy, but you got to know it to some extent. You know what I mean?
right? They always say know it enough to be dangerous. Like, you don't know
Exactly.
exactly how to do it, but you know enough you can fuck some shit up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what's up. Shout out to Hogan.
Shout out to H.
Yo, so you just dropped Dance for Rage.
Yeah, that's a rage. Pretty much what I was talking about with the show idea, just the reason why I really put on shows and just love them so much. I want people to come, you either go and dance or you gonna rage, but you're gonna move, you know what I mean? I get it. There's some niggas that don't really, like to move. They kind of come to stand around. Or if you came, to get some footage or whatever, or you somebody's manager or whatever. But I'm talking about like if you came, you paid a ticket to come see some nigga on that stage, but you better be dancing or you better be raging. And I made music for both crowds. I really just love like the energy. Just like whatever you feed me, I'ma feed you. So I just love like
That one big community.
exactly that circular motion where it's like I'm yelling at you, you yelling back, that call and response. So that's kind of why Dance or Rage was made, for my like just my love for performance.
And it's such a big part of the underground. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
like, this moshing and just the rage and all that kind of stuff. It really
exactly,
kind of came from like hardcore and like metal stuff. And it like
exactly.
really kind of has that same energy because I grew up going to hardcore shows, like punk shows, hardcore shows, and all that kind of
Five.
stuff. And it's just like with this underground scene, like that raw energy is like there, you
Exactly.
know?
But the thing is, in my opinion, it's not too authentic. And that's kind of where I want to play a part. Like all of it is like it's the concept. Like people want to come to a show and they want to mosh out and they want to have fun, but they want to do it because they think it's cool. They don't really got love for it. I want to show that, there's real love. There's really like sense of community. Like we can really mosh and like have fun, and we're doing this shit because we love it, not because, oh, we might go viral for this. You know what I mean?
Or it
Like
looks cool.
exactly, or it looks cool, or it sounds cool. Like it's real culture. It's real culture, but it's behind like moshing and raging and rocking out and all that. I used to be the biggest Lil Wayne fan. You know what I mean? Like that's what I grew up on, seeing him fuse the rock and hip hop together. Just like really inspired me to do that when I got older. So it's like a thing of I just want to make it authentic, like show people like I'm a real rock star that know how to rap. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing it for a trender so y'all niggas think I'm cool or the next opium kid. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing it for real.
Right. Yeah. And it just keeps on going back to the advice you're giving everybody else, just to be yourself.
Be authentic, be you, be genuine,
Yeah.
and have
So
fun while doing it.
for sure, that's like where all the burnout comes from. People just doing shit they don't want to fucking do forever because they're like,
Exactly.
oh, this is how I'm going to hit. That's not better. That's how you're going to burn out and not do shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you got anything else coming up that you're excited about?
Whatever with my boys Midwest in 19. I know I'm Miss Edgar and Cali. But that song means so much to me. Just especially the way it came about. We talked about this, but just pretty much how that song was like a mistake. I made an open that I was gonna sell out. Cali hit me. He was like, bro, this shit is way too hard. Send it to me. He did both verses. We showed it to Edgar in court. Edgar was like, let me get on this. Let me get on this. We swapped out the first verse and it became a hit. You know what I mean? It was a song that I was just going to throw away for whatever price. You know what I mean? And it's just like, just the way how that song came about and then what it means when we all first met up out in New York, and just like the whole history behind that song and it finally coming out just means so much to me. Kids is a song just about like just also the history of me and my girl's relationship and just how beautiful everything became. Just going from like how we found each other as kids and like grew to love each other as adults and everything, or older kids, whatever you want to see us as. But just like also the Sky influence on it, on the way how it came together and produced and everything. Obviously, shout out Sky. Everything about that song is just really beautiful to me, and I love how it came together. Just really big singles. Like I'm trying to bring the moments back that I felt like I was missing out on when I was thinking more than I was doing. You know what I mean?
What's the number one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting?
Honestly, that you have a motive. You know what I mean? Just get behind that motive. Stay behind that motive. Whatever you're doing it for, understand what you're doing it for and do it for that reason. And I feel like I got lost in that like a lot of the time. You know what I mean? I try to fit a certain niche or like fit a certain demand or like time period or whatever. And honestly, I know that's not what I'm trying to do this for. I'm trying to have fun, trying to artistically be me, and I'm trying to speak to the people, speak to the youth. So, you know, I wish earlier on someone just like told me to, you know, really stick to what I'm doing this shit for and always hone in on that. And also journal and note taking. That's like something that I wish I learned earlier on. Like rather you're scheduling shit for yourself or you're setting certain goals or got certain ideas or any type of thing that you can write down or even draw out or whatever the fuck, just journal for yourself. Like express all your thoughts and feelings and emotions like out, like just to have on paper or an app or wherever you want to put it at. Just like journal, talk to yourself, talk to whoever, just in your written form or artistic, whatever the fuck. Journal, like journal. If you haven't already, start journaling.
I've even seen just even little notes, like not even like necessarily journaling, but like running some old papers and
Yeah,
just like, oh shit, I did this already. Like I did this last year.
exactly.
You know, so that definitely will be like a cool little full circle moment in like real time. You've seen you've accomplished something.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, if I can accomplish this, I can accomplish something else.
exactly.
Who should be on the show next?
Uh, O2 Kai, my boy Kai, 2-5. Bring in Kai next for sure. That's my boy, just Renaissance man, know how to do anything. You give him a computer, a charger, and some water, and 24 hours, and he'll come back to you with a full feature film that he made from scratch. Like, he's one of the most creative and talented people I know. Kai for sure.
Okay, and just
Super underrated.
Just that writer was a computer or a charger, some water, and 24 hours.
Yeah.
All right, bet I'm gonna make sure I have that when he's on for the interview.
For sure.
Cool, man. Any final thoughts? Close it out.
Final thoughts. Be you. Don't be scared to be you. Like I said, I don't want to come off cliche, but just be yourself. I done stumbled on my words and stuttered and said a whole bunch of shit during this interview, but that's just me. That's just how I talk. So I wasn't going to change it up for the camera or anything. Build a team. Really, really have some love for you guys. Make sure everybody's on one accord. Shout out to my team. MNB shit. Money not buying shit. And shout out to Josh for making this happen while you're sleeping for real. Just appreciate you guys for watching the video. You just make all this possible. If there was no audience, there would be no artist. You know what I mean? So I just appreciate you guys for watching the videos, allowing this to happen. Streaming the music, liking the music, reposting the music, making the TikToks. liking a post, sharing a post, uh, showing a friend, whatever you can do to help, buying merch, whatever, literally whatever you do that takes more than one tap. I really appreciate y'all, and mad love, mad love.